of medieval India. Let's have a look into the title Sources of Medieval India. What is meant by sources? Sources are something that inform us about history at the most basic level. Now we will see a small introduction. Medieval Indian history. The periods from CE 700 to 1200 and CE 1200 to 1700 are classified as early medieval and later medieval periods. Respectively, in Indian history, numerous and varied sources are fortunately available to the historians engaging in the study of medieval India. So, let me explain the periods from CE 700 to 1200, from CE 1200 to 1700 are classified as a early medieval period and later medieval period. Numerous and varied sources are available in medieval period. Added to the information that can be gleaned from inscription, monuments and coins are the accounts left by Arab, Persian and Turkish. The chronicles, the account are rich in the detail and have given first-hand information on the life of kings, though they provide very little information on the life of the common people. Okay, such as a inscription, coins, historical buildings and religious and non-religious literature, which are left by the Arab, Persian, Turkish, provide us more information. Let us now explore the various sources available for the study of history of medieval India. Now we will discuss about sources. What is sources? Sources are the supporting materials, documents, records in the from evidence the help to the reconstruct the past. Now see the classification of sources. Sources are two types. They are primary source and secondary source. What is primary sources? Let me explain. Inscription, monuments, coins and the information available in them. These are called primary sources. Let's see short note on secondary sources. A secondary source is one that gives information above a primary sources. In these sources, the original information is selected, modified and arranged in a suitable format. For example, literary works, travelogues, biographies and autobiographies are secondary sources. Let us talk about one of the primary sources. Inscription. Inscription are writing encarved on solid surface such as rocks, stones, temple, walls and metals. It is the study of inscription, epigraph, as writing is the science of identifying, classifying the use according to dates and cultural context and drawing conclusion. Some example for inscription. Various type of lands gifted by the Chola king are known from this inscription and copper plate. They are Vellan Vagai, the land of non-Brahmin proprietors, Brahmadeya, land gifted to Brahmins. Salabhoga, land for the maintenance of a school. Devadana, land gifted to temples. Pallichattam, land donated to Jain institution. Several copper plate grant issued during the later Chola period. Tiruvalangadu plates of Rajendra Chola first and the unbuilt plates of Sundara Chola are notable examples. These are the best example for inscription. Next, we going to see monuments. Monuments, a building or statue that is built to remind people of famous person or event. Example, minarets, forts, Agra and Red Fort, Kanchur temple. Places, mosques, tombs, forts, minarets are called by the collective name monuments. The Sultan of Delhi introduced a new type of architecture. The medieval period, the Khajuraho monuments, Madhya Pradesh, the Konark temple, Odisha, and Tilwaro, Mount Abu, constitute valuable sources. Temples in Tanjavur, Kangikonda Solapuram, Tarasuram are the great examples built by Chola in Tamil Nadu. Forts like Agra, Chittor, Gwalior and Delhi. Red Fort. The last primary sources, coins. The picture and the legend on the coins convey the names of kings with their titles and portraits, even places, dates, dynasties and logos. This composition of metal in the coin gives us information on the economic condition of the emperor. Mention of the king's achievements like a military conquest, territorial expansion, trade links and religious fight can also be found in the coins. Some example for coins. Muhammad Ghori had stamped the figure of goddess Lakshmi on his gold coins and had his name engraved on it. This coin tells us that his yearly Turkish inventor was in all likelihood liberal in religious outlook. Copper chittels are available for the study of the period of the Delhi Sultan's silver tanga introduced by Iltutmish. Alauddin Khilji's gold coins. Muhammad bin Tughlaq copper token currency are inactive of coinage as well as the economic prosperity or otherwise of the country of the time. A jittel contained 3.6 grains of silver. 48 jittels were equal to 1 silver tanga. So these are the classification of primary sources. From these sources we came to know the notable sources in medieval history. Do you know the famous words of Kafi Khan, a courtier of Emperor Aurangzeb? He says it is the duty of an historian to be faithful, to have no hope of profit, no fear of injury, to show no partiality on one side or animosity on the other, to know no difference between friend and stranger, and to write nothing but with sincerity. With this quote, I wind up my class. So dear students, we learned about the medieval period and the type of sources. In next class, we will discuss about literature. Thank you, students.